What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So, since quarantine is still in full swing, didn't really have anything new to do. So I thought to myself, well, what have I done in the past that could be improved upon, and I could probably do better this time? That was the Chrome delete. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go around my car where all the Chrome delete stuff that I did 2 years ago, check and see where it's at. If it's still good, I'm going to leave it be. If it's peeling, bubbling, if it's got glue lines, what have you, I'm going to peel it off and replace it. So I've already identified 2 panels I'm going to work on. I'm going to go ahead and show you those panels, and then we'll go to the back, we'll cut the new replacement strips out, and we'll get to laying. Alright, so 2 panels I've identified so far are the passenger back door, the C panel, and this upper strip. So I peeled those up already. I'm going to go in the back, I'm going to cut new panels for this, and get these rewrapped. So when you're doing these back doors, if you grab the panel right here and you pull on the surround just pops out of this little channel. And that will give you the ability to get into all of this upper trim right here, so you're not cutting and trying to tuck. You can actually fold all the way over the line. There's a little screw right here. So it goes right here. This screw comes out, which then enables you to pop this down and release that. There's also a screw that goes right here. When you go to tuck in here, with that screw out, you can lift up and it'll give you a nice little area that you can tuck into without having to try to get a tool in there. Now, right here, there are several clips that hold this whole panel in. You can either get in with them with your fingers and pop them out, or you can use these little pry tools. And basically, they'll go in and they will help you pry the pins out. Like so. So you're not taking a chance of breaking them. Alright, so that's the back side. Now for the front side, I want to focus in here. We can get in here and take this out as well. To do that, get up in here, pry it open to separate the 2 pieces, the front and the back piece, and just pull it out. Nice and easy. Once you have it out to an extent, you can then tuck it inside the window and free up all this space. So that way now you can tuck to the back side of this as well. We'll go ahead and clean these off, wipe them down, and then get them wrapped. In order to alleviate cutting into your surround, go ahead and lay painter's tape across it. So that way, as you cut the little bit extra to do the tuck, you're cutting on the tape and not on the actual molding. So with that said, before I get started on doing this, I want to show you one more thing and then give you one more little tip. So this little notch down here, this little channel, this is hard to get into. But what I found out the other day is if you take your fingers and you take them in here and you grab a hold of this and you pull it toward the front of the car, it'll space it out about 1/8 of an inch, which is just enough space to be able to clean in there thoroughly and tuck nice and even. And then there's even a nice little channel that you can use to cut the vinyl out. If you're doing Chrome delete for the first time, all the vinyl that you can keep to do your door handles and all that stuff is going to be, important. I don't want to waste all this vinyl here. So I'm going to cut this out, but I need to make sure that I'm not cutting so much that I'm not going to have enough to tuck around everything. So now I have enough to do everything I need to do, and I saved a little bit of that to at least lock out almost 3 handles worth of material. So, if you have to save it, you don't have a lot, that's how you do it. up here along the top. I got it smoothed all the way around the edge and the seam, which is nice. So I'll get ready to cut that excess off in a little bit. Around the corners here, I don't know if you noticed, but as I went around the corner, I pulled out and down. By pulling out and down, I was able to contour around the corner without having too many wrinkles or anything along this line. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the heat gun. Got to run along the back side of this with the heat gun, see if I have any lifting or pulling. Mainly looking around at this corner right here. And if I don't, I'll trim off all this back stuff and we'll go around to the front side and we'll start working the front. 650 degrees directly in line with this heat gun is way more than the sun's going to actually apply. So, heat's done. I don't see any real lifting. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this down and put the back trim back on. What I'm going to do, I'm going to cut just on the inside edge of the tape, and you can see it when you press down in the body line right there between the panel and the molding. You can see the natural line. So I'm going to cut just above that natural line around the tape to get rid of all this excess, and then we'll tuck that in on the back side. All right, now that everything's trimmed up, go ahead and take the tape off. I'm going to take the spreader and slowly try to push this in to this channel and get full coverage in the process. Alright, so with the two separate spreaders, I got my small spreader and my tucker. So what this does, if I can get in to the channel here, can raise it up with this and then tuck it in with the other one. Tucking the vinyl in as I go. Like I said, since I cut it so short and I already have the screw taken out, it should just be a matter of me pushing upward. Yep, there we go. Cut this off right here, about 1/8 of an inch over, just to give overlap, and call this piece good. So for this little part down here, there isn't much to this. There's a solid line that runs in between the plastic base plate and the chrome top trim. You just need to find that line using a very, very fine point spreader. Make sure you pull this vinyl up off the body of the car so you can get a no shit location of where that line is. Because once you cut this, if you cut it too short, there's no going back. So make sure you get enough lift so you can actually cut it and be good to go. All right, trim down, everything's even. Go ahead and hit the whole thing off with some heat, finish it off, and then we'll move into the upper trim panel. These straight panels are a whole lot easier than the C-notch. Basically just start it on the corner, even it center, and then peel it across as it goes. And as you go, just smooth out the face. So I'm gonna put my wrap glove back on that I got from Vvividwrap.com. It's a really nice glove. Highly encourage it if you do this often that you get one, because it does help a lot. All right, everything's tucked in here. It's all smoothed out and cleaned up, looking good. Now, I'm gonna go with the knife, trim all this off the backside, put the surround back on, and then all I have left to do is tuck in here and cut around the end cap, and this back door is done. now the everything's tucked and cut, and the back trim is put back in. Everything looks good. It's all even, nice and smooth. When you go to finish off these edges where these little plastic tabs are, you don't want to cut straight down onto the chrome trim, because when you post heat with the heat gun, if this shrinks up, you're going to see the chrome trim underneath the vinyl where the vinyl shrunk. What you want to do, and if you look to the edge, you can kind of see the raised edge right here of the tab. If you cut into and on that tab instead of straight down, it'll give you a little bit of extra vinyl, so that way when you heat it up and it shrinks, it'll come in nice and even and clean, and you'll see no chrome trim around that tab. Next part we're doing is the back driver's side door, this lower trim. There's chrome showing on the back here and the front up here from where the vinyl shrunk and I didn't cut it properly. There's a lot of glue lines going through it that I'm not really happy with. Either way, I'm gonna swap this piece out. So I'm gonna go ahead and peel this up, get a new piece cut, and we will go from there. Okay, so as you saw, I got everything laid down. It's all nice and even and smooth. Way better than the first time, which is awesome. So, what I did for the top part here, I basically just took the flat side of this, and when I would come in here, I would push down and round the edge and press in to the back side of the chrome surround, just to lock that vinyl in and keep it nice and tight on the back side. The bottom, I raised the vinyl up off the car just to free it, and as soon as I got a little bit of space in here, I would push down and under and then press in and just lock that vinyl up underneath the chrome trim like so. I went ahead and cut this off so I could have separation between the doors. I'm going to cut the bottom excess off, and then the top excess, and then I'll worry about hitting these corners. All I have left for this bottom trim right here is this back tab. So I've already pressed everything in to the body line as tight as I can get it with my fingernail and with the spreader. So now I'm going to take my knife, cut along the side of the trim piece, the cap, and hope that I don't cut into the actual chrome, because that would suck. That's it. Now I'll go ahead and give it a little post heat, and then I'll move on to the next part. So as far as the repair panels go, everything I did previously is still good to go. What's next in the process is in this box. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this open for you so you can see what we got. So So I got this through the Metro Restyling store. A member of the Q50 Q60 group on Facebook posted that he had found a vinyl made by 3M that matched the paint code of my car, now almost to an exact. So I took a chance and I ordered some. Yeah, that is about as close as you're gonna get to the factory color. It even has the flake in it. So that's gonna be perfect for what I plan on doing next. First thing tomorrow, what we're gonna be doing is taking this silver vinyl and replacing all the black door handle vinyl around the car. I think that will clean up the door handles a lot and will just overall look really good. So we'll pick it up in the morning. All right, here we go. Day 2 of getting this vinyl wrap put on. So as you can tell, I've already stripped the black vinyl off of all of the handles. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and clean them with isopropyl alcohol, get them measured and get the vinyl cut. And then I will get the front door laid and show you the steps on that. Because if you can do this door with the button, you can do any handle on the car. So I'll go ahead and get started. First thing I want to do, make sure that I have the ability to work in here. I'll take this, and stick it back here, and just let it rest on there like that. So that way the door's not coming open, but I still have the ability to get in here and tuck and work. Now that I have that set up, this is going to stay open. I'm going to lay the face first, give it a little heat, mold it around the corners, and then stretch and pull around this edge to get this backside. There we have it. There is the driver's side door handle, and gotta say, it matches really good. I'm 100% happy with that. So I'm gonna go ahead and knock out the other 3, and then I'll bring it back to the final product when it's done. All right, so there we have it. I know I didn't do the whole car, but the pieces I did do, you can use the same principles to finish off all the other pieces around the window surrounds. Upper's an upper, lower's a lower. They all wrap the same. Using the steps that I showed you, some of the tips and tricks I showed you will help make it easier and will help save you anywhere from $100 up to $300, $400, depending on where you live, to get this chrome delete done. In the description, I will have links to everything that I've used in the video, in addition to the sizes of the pieces of vinyl that you need to cut for each individual piece on the car. That said, go ahead and close this one out. If you're already a subscriber, thank you. If you're not, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.